Celebrities do this constant battle with trying to be relatable, but then again, reminding us that they make way more money than us. One day, y'all are talking about the price of eggs and the cost of living going up. And then the next day, y'all are reminding us that you can spend $3 million worth of anything on yourself a month. Fix it. Let's talk about it.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
I wish Cardi B would have kept this to herself. I wish that this was the one time that Cardi B wasn't triggered by folks talking about her online. And I get it. I get getting online and seeing a tweet and it's going viral about you and the misconceptions about you being broke. I get it. For those who do not know, recently Cardi B was under some criticism because she did a Shein ad and people were speculating that she may be broke, that she isn't making any money because why is someone like a Cardi B doing an ad with Shein who doesn't wear a lot of Shein outfits? Like she's not known for wearing Shein. She's wearing high-end fashion labels and things I've never heard of. Like the prices of some of the clothes and things that she owns is more than, what we spend in a lifetime on just living. And Cardi B, responded to the criticism and talked about how much money she's making and posted screenshots of tour deals and how much money she makes off of these things and that this was another deal for her. And with her sharing that, she is kind of saying the quiet part out loud. And this really isn't the time for that. It's especially right now. We are post another Donald Trump election. We're seeing folks struggle more than usual. Housing is becoming even more further away from a lot of people. People are now accepting that they will never own a home, and per the thing we've been told all our lives is that home ownership is the way to secure wealth. And this idea of the American dream slipping further and further away from so many people. And celebrities like Cardi B, who over the last couple of years has, grown a lot and has become a little bit more relatable. She started off being relatable to a lot of us, and we saw her come up and we saw her make money and, make money moves. And now she has kind of lost that a little bit. During the last 2 years, especially during this election season in the beginning, she was, on the opposite side. She was a little bit more progressive in the way she spoke about things, and even her getting online and talking about how expensive stuff was relatable for a lot of people. It was relatable for a lot of people because a lot of folks are struggling. You go to the grocery store, you go to any store, basically, you can see that folks are having to put things back that they haven't had to. People are now having to, make adjustments to survive, not even just live, but to survive. And Cardi B, her fan base, people who listen to her music and consume her music are people like that. People who will take out a loan to go see her perform. People who, you might not call it a loan, but if you are paying for concert tickets through Klarna, it is a loan. It might not be on your credit report, but it is a loan. You have to pay it back. Cardi B, for lack of better words, was coming off a little bit relatable to most. And I feel like this really kind of destroyed a little bit of that feeling that she understood a little bit of what was going on. It's left a disgusting taste in a lot of folks' mouth. And when I say folks, I'm not talking about her fans. I'm talking about people who consume her music, not super fans, but just enjoy her or whatever. But we are tired of hearing y'all talk about y'all money. We're tired. A lot of us might not say it. They might not say it to your face, but we don't want to hear it. We damn sure don't want to hear it from a celebrity who is making millions of dollars. You're talking about this deal that you're getting from Shein. You got paid for it. When there's been consistent conversations about how Shein exploits labor from different countries and how they're able to make this fast fashion to us, sell it to us, and then we wear it for a couple of weeks or half a year, and then we throw it in the garbage, and then it ends up in landfills in places that Black folks live. I was watching the Buy Now documentary that is on Netflix, and I encourage you all to watch it. And a fan on Patreon suggested that I take a look at it. And in this documentary, we hear about where most of our trash goes. And when I say trash, I'm talking about the clothes that we say we are giving away or we donated. A lot of those clothes do not get accepted or taken in by people who live in the US. A lot of that ends up making its way to different countries. And it's so bad that there are whole oceans and beaches with clothes, landfills with clothes from American, landfills that are leaking all types of dye and chemicals into oceans and water in other countries. This has been a conversation about fast fashion, and Shein has been notorious for it. Shein is not the only company. There are other companies that produce a lot of clothes per year that we do not keep long. And I'm not trying to come off mean towards influencers who do sell merch, but I do feel as though influencers should make changes to their lifestyles to the point that they don't need to sell merchandise so heavy. It doesn't make sense for you to be selling all of this merch and you're living a very luxurious life. Because if we're going to keep it real, we're going to have to make some changes. We can't say one thing and then do another thing. We can't say that we have all this knowledge and language around, what we should be doing better and exploitation and all that. Yes, there's exploitation everywhere. We cannot keep saying one thing and the politic is not matching. And that's something I'm starting to see even more after a conversation with a friend, is that I'm seeing the politic happen, but I'm not seeing it be applied. And this is one of those things where it is very performative. You're saying that you understand the struggle and all of this, and yet the struggle is removed in the conversation of you talking about spending millions of dollars. And Cardi B is not the only celebrity. There is something that celebrities do not want to say, and that they are unable to keep up with their lifestyles. We're seeing that. We're seeing some of our favorite celebrities having to do way more work than they usually have done to be able to make their bills. They won't say it out loud, but you see it. You see them doing way more work than they usually would do because they have a specific lifestyle to uphold. Just saw the report about Jay-Z and how the company that he was a part of has failed to be able to sell $50 road blunts. The person who has been known to sell dope in his music is not able to sell $50 roll-ups or whatever you call it. And it came out that Jay-Z been left the company before it started to bleed cash and be further and further in debt. But the idea of selling a $50 rolled up blunt never was a smart idea. You're seeing certain celebrities that have made money so much of their image having to do so many shady things to uphold it. I was watching a video from one of my favorite creators on YouTube, and he was speaking on how Shaq will basically endorse any product from the general to some shady brand that we have not heard from in the last 2 or 3 years. Shaq will endorse it. He doesn't care. He will put his name on anything. And we're seeing that in small doses with other celebrities. Endorsing Shein is less. I don't care how much money they offered you. There are some deals that you should just say, you know what, I'm actually good on that. I don't want to water my brand down and be associated with that. But when you have a specific lifestyle that you're trying to uphold, you will feel pressure to do these things. Yes, Cardi B is getting big deals. And, you know, even the text message where she shared that folks have offered her money to tour, that very well could be true. I believe that she probably will do a successful tour. I don't think that Cardi knows that, though. I'm going to be completely honest. I think that Cardi is a little bit insecure about the album and the possibility of flopping. And a lot of artists experience that. Cardi B is not the first, but Cardi B, the way she was able to become so successful so quick in a lot of our eyes, a lot of us expect her to be a flop afterwards. And a lot of people, and considering who she has beef with, are waiting for her demise. And I think that so many of those thoughts are in her head because she sees them so much because she is online. She is chronically online. And a lot of us are chronically online. A lot of us. I have been taking a step back as much as I can because this can be extremely addictive. I don't want to spend so much time talking about Cardi B and how she uses social media. I've already done several videos about that. But I want to talk about how her and other celebrities do this thing where they remind us that they are rich. Like, I'm very rich. It's giving very Nene Leakes. And yet they need us working class poor folks to continue to purchase things and buy things that they are selling to keep this appearance. Because it's no shade. A lot of it is appearance for a lot of y'all. If you're having to constantly accept deals like this, that means that you're not wealthy. You are only wealthy as the next deal you're getting. I never forget watching Tyra Banks say that she wants to get to the point that she builds an empire where she doesn't have to dance anymore. What she meant by that is that she didn't want to have to be appearing at all of these things. She wants to just make money sitting down. That the brand is making money on its own and she doesn't have to sell herself. That it's doing its own thing. That is wealth as we know it. Not having to be participating in it, just managing. Like, you're making so much money that somebody else is managing your money. And we're seeing celebrities try to emulate that, but it's not happening. You're seeing them do things that they won't normally do. Even as far as Rihanna, like, Rihanna has to keep using her social capital and her, you know, face and stuff to sell things. She's doing very well. She's been in the game doing it for a minute, but she's having to constantly do it. Now, she hasn't had to put out an album because her social capital is so strong that she doesn't have to put out any more music. She is that. She doesn't need the music to sell anymore. She's Rihanna. She can just do that. She's built it long enough to the point that she doesn't have to put out music for us to pay attention. We're still paying attention to her because the brand is so successful. But we still see her do other things to maintain that, with the wigs and something else that she was doing. Even if it's not successful, she's trying to make sure that she's able to continue this empire. And I enjoy Rihanna. I enjoy her. But it's just something I'm just noticing. And even to the point that I have been questioning the uptick of creators who I've been watching sell so much merch. I've just been like, I can't watch even my favorite YouTubers review a Marvel movie or show or the new DC animation without them heavily pushing new t-shirts to buy, new products. Like, I can see, hey, this is advertisement from said product, but it's advertisement for Talkspace, Peerspace, all of these things. And then, hey, buy merchandise, buy more merch, buy this shirt. And it's, when do we stop? And actually, the real question I have, when is enough enough? When is it? That's the question I've been asking. When are we just comfortable? And I don't think capitalism allows us to say, okay, I think I'm good. I think I'm straight. You always want more. That is the thing that stood out to me in the Buy Now documentary on Netflix, that we are just being bombarded with buy, purchase, consume. That's all we know. You don't need these things, but you need these things. I was watching an interior decorating video and the person was advertising a 3D printer. And I'm like, oh, a 3D printer, like I can use that. And I'm watching this person only use it to print little small things, not big things. I'm like, do I really want to spend that much money? Not that I'm going to buy it, because I'm not buying that thing, but would I really need to spend this much money on a thing like to print stuff? Like I don't like, what is that? I don't necessarily need it. If it's something, a product, I can just probably go find and buy it. But why do I need the 3D printer? It's just consume. And they do this thing where they make it feel as though we need it. That's why there are whole classes and courses and degrees given to people who are going to school to learn how to sell these things to us. That's why companies reach out to advertisement companies and PR firms to learn how to manipulate us on a psychological level to make us purchase things. And I think this Buy Now documentary did a really good job of exposing that. I'm not trying to come hard on Cardi B or any celebrity or even a creator, but I just think that there is a lot of smoke and mirrors when it comes to this idea that you are rich and wealthy and you are financially stable or okay, and yet you still need us to consistently purchase and do things to keep up this lifestyle. I don't know. It's just a thought. And I know some folks will say, well, you have Patreon, so what's the difference with that? Because that's what I hear. I don't know. Maybe there is some criticism behind that. Definitely could be. And that's why I take steps to be as less as possible. That's why I've chosen not to do merchandise. That's why I've chosen to say, hey, you know what? If it's getting to the point that I have to constantly do all of these things, then maybe I need to trim some fat and change my lifestyle to the point that I don't need to sell so much stuff to keep up. I'll say this, and I know a lot of YouTubers won't say it publicly, but YouTube ad revenue is not nowhere near what it used to be. And that's the quiet part, like I'm saying out loud. And that's why you will see a lot of creators having to rely on merch and other things, because the ad rates are not as high as they used to be. It is still higher than TikTok, but TikTok requires you to do so much work that I don't see it being worth it to put out 20 videos a week for the change that they've given a lot of folks. But you know, that's my thoughts. I know some folks gonna feel a certain type of way. Let me know. While I'm watching this and looking right now, Netflix, under their YouTube channel, they're selling Squid Game like merch. Like we are cooked. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.